Well, I wanted to help an asylum seeker family settle into the community, but I didn't know what to do or who to talk to. I was at a dinner party and we were talking about the Brigidine Asylum Seeker project. So I thought, that's what I would like to do, get involved with helping Sister Bridget.
No doubt about that. We use it as a last resort, just in case it backfires.
I'm absolutely staggered by the number of people who say, what can we do? And who then try to do it, whether it's about housing or whether it's about going to help families as such. It's amazing how many people of goodwill there are around. In fact, the thing that's amazing to me about all of that is that why can't we get change when there are so many people who obviously just want to be welcoming and hospitable and friendly towards these people who are coming here seeking protection. I believe that there's a baseline, and that baseline to me is that we should not in any way harm people. And so not harming people to me means that we provide them with the basic ordinary necessities of life, and we give them a chance to at least live safely while the whole process of can you stay here in Australia or not is actually happening.
Anyway, in this day and age, he can keep coming. I mean, he can come here.
Oh, yeah.
He's lucky.
So I went and met her and asked her what she needed most, and she said accommodation for people leaving detention.
Asylum seekers who come here to Australia looking for protection go through a long process, and at certain points they absolutely need accommodation, and they need secure accommodation, and that accommodation often brings friendship and links with the community, so it's very important.
We do have people who are desperate come to us for housing. Some of them have no money because they are not entitled to Centrelink at that stage, or maybe never, no income and no work rights. Others need accommodation. They've been released from community detention, but again with no certainty as to how long they'll be here, not even a bridging visa, and so there's no way a real estate agent would take them on and give them housing.
And we've been to housing where people have just had one room in a house that was absolutely overcrowded. I saw one recently where there were 13 people in this one house. This couple had one room and they were paying $650 a month for this one room, where you can imagine what the house was like with 13 people in it.
My idea was to raise some money to rent a house for 12 months, and she could use that house for crisis accommodation. So I got together with a few friends to talk about how we could raise this sort of money. We decided that the most efficient way was to have a fundraising party. Every dollar donated was to go to paying rent, so there were no costs in fundraising.
And then Sister Bridget started to talk to us, and she's a very strong character, and she's the true missionary. She's there to help people, and where you've got someone like that, you've got to support them. I just don't see any choice.
Everyone there was very generous, and we greatly exceeded our financial target. So this enabled Bridget and Libby to go and rent a house in the western suburbs of Melbourne.
And it's been really fascinating. We had originally thought we'd get one house and people would come in until they sorted out where they could go and acquire a house. But of course, once the first family came in and the kids started going to school and they got their library cards and had worked out the public transport, that seemed silly to uproot them to put somebody else in. So at that point we worked with that particular family who were able to take over the whole rent, and it meant we could go and rent more houses.
What's actually happened is that they have got on their feet, but they would not be able to get into the rental market because they don't have a rental history. But they do get government assistance after a period, and they get jobs, they get work permits. So they're very keen to start to pay rent, very keen to pay their way, but they're not going to get a rental property with their history.
So it's been wonderful in giving those people an opportunity to put their roots down for a year or 6 months, whatever it is, and develop that history so that they can then, in their own right, go and rent after that, and we can give them an honest referral as being good tenants, which of course they are.
Well, over a 12-month period, we have leased 6 houses. And we've been able to do that because each of the people in those houses have been able to pay rent. We've helped over 45 people, so we have given them fully furnished accommodation and set them up in our community.
Just like any of us, we want that security of housing and getting our feet, I don't know, down so that we can then have a look around and see where we fit in and how we can best fit in, where work is if we get work rights, where there are support groups for the women and the children. So they're just like us, but they've had a rough time before they get to us.
Anyone who wants to raise money for others, whether it's the Brigidine Asylum Seeker Project or any other good cause, all you need is to get a few friends together and get a few more friends and have a party. You'll be surprised at the money you can raise. And if you do that, I can guarantee you'll be rewarded in many, many ways.